Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing. We are back here at the lovely Sardegna sea layout in the lovely hills of Italy, I do believe, if my geography is correct, which it quite often isn't. My name is Carbon Boy, and I will be your streamer for tonight's round 5 of Sector 1 Season 10. We are racing with the Category 1 drivers tonight, so the best of the best we have. And joining me tonight in the comms box is none other than a fellow Category 2 driver, Grovel. Grovel, man, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm kicking along all right, thank you very much. Just wanted to put a quick shout out to all the mums out there. Happy Mother's Day. I hope that you've all been spoiled rotten. Unfortunately, my mother wasn't, because she decided to be in a different part of the country to me. But that's fine, that's okay. At least she was in the same hemisphere, unlike last year, but that's another story. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, it sounds like your mum's trying to avoid you on Mother's Day.
You know, it's entirely possible, and to be perfectly honest, don't blame her that much. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the track map tonight, because I'm pretty sure the guys are raring to go. So it's a fairly basic circuit. We have, well, I guess it depends entirely on what you define a turn as to how many turns this track has. Our track map says 10, but Grovel and I have come to the consensus that we're just going to count the braking zones, and there's a grand total of 3 on this track. So, 3 braking zones, about a 56-second lap, give or take a couple of tenths. The racing mediums are available, as well as the racing soft tyres, but being a sprint round, 20-minute race, chances are everybody's just going to go the racing soft tyres and try and make them last, because they do get a little bit sketchy at about the 15-minute mark. So we will be having a 10-minute qualifying with a 20-minute race around the normal layout, followed by a short intermission where we will be resetting the grid and running a reverse layout for race 2. And as you know, the grid for that race will be based on the results of race 1. Now, there are points available in race 1, so don't think of it as just a secondary qualifying. There are extra points up for grabs, and speaking of points, we shall have a quick look at those, because I'm sure there's a few drivers who will be keen to pick up as many of those as possible. And I do believe one of those includes your teammate, Grovel.
Yeah, I think he's looking to move himself back up into Div 1 if he can.
I reckon you're right, Captain Muffin. He's currently sitting, well, second in the Category 1B group. What are we looking at here? I think I definitely need to get my glasses. He's actually equal on points with Heafy from Thunder Motorsports, sitting on the top of the Cat 1B standings. And we've also got Slapper's mate not too far behind.
I think Muffin...
No, Muffin is 1 point down on Heafy, my bad. Like I said, I
think
definitely need glasses.
He missed a complete race though, didn't he?
He did indeed. He missed... my memory is a little bit sketchy.
I should know, because I did the race for him.
Laguna Seca?
Yeah, that's the one.
There we go. And also Dadson, for Dadson Racing Team, sitting there on 52 points. Got CPJ on 51, Boy Bagoom, Black Rose on 50. So the top 5 there, they're all in contention based on results this week to be able to move themselves up into Category 1A, because there's a couple of drivers sitting at the lower end of 1A on 60 and 59 points.
Yep.
So they're a little bit on the cusp of relegation, but again, everything will depend on results. And speaking of results, I'll keep going through the points. got Tim Durags from Switchblade on 41. We've got the Banker from Doghouse Motorsport on 37. We've got Danico from Hoon Corp on 32, 1 point ahead of his fellow Hoon Corp driver, Hodes. We've got the Racing Accountant from Symmetry on 23. We've got Stickers from Lightning Motorsport on 21. Sizzling Sausage from Black Rose on 20. And E-Bulk rounding out the Cat 1B from Symmetry on 14 points.
I believe the Racing Accountant is racing under a different name tonight as well, due to a bit of a issue with his main account.
Yep, I have been informed of that. There's been some security issues. Now we've not only had problems with Nürburgring security, we've also had troubles with Sardegna track security. So we've had to sneak him in under a fake ID.
Yeah.
As long as customs and immigration don't get involved, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, trying to get that visa through Italy, why the whole thing's happening with the Pope, might have put a little bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I think they're just being a little bit excessive in terms of security. But we're not going to have a look at a strategy map tonight because, let's be honest, it's a sprint race. The strategy is simple: drive fast, don't crash. Job done.
If in doubt, go flat out.
Yes, unfortunately, you probably don't want to go flat out into the wall at turn 4. Can confirm that will ruin your day very, very quickly.
Yeah, they come up on you pretty quickly, these walls.
Now, just going to have a quick shout out to everyone in the YouTube chat tonight. We've got Robert Rice, howdy, Captain Muffin, what are you doing in there? You're meant to be racing, mate. Multitasking at its best. Hello to the Stranger and Brev. Got Brocky in there saying hello. Good Doc. G'day. Thanks for the fun races last night, Mr. Good Doc. Much appreciated. Got Artsy. Who else we got? Everyone's having a bit of a chat. Rightio. Well, what do you say we just get straight into qualifying?
I think that's a great idea. I've let the guys know we're about to start. Good luck,
everyone in the YouTube chat. Who do you think's going to take out pole position for qualifying here tonight? Throw your nominations in the chat if you would. Let's see who can pick a winner.
Muffin, no bias. You didn't hear that, did you? I muted that.
I know nothing. I know nothing at all.
Going to be interesting to see what the difference in times is actually between this Group B Cat 1 compared to the Group A Cat 2 from last Sunday.
That's true. I believe the fastest qualifying for the Cat 2A was a 56 flat.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these guys get into the 55. Not a lot of corners to make up a lot of speed though, to be honest. Like, yeah, when we look at a sort of a standard track where you're looking at like, you know, a minute and a half, minute 45, and you've got, say, a good dozen corners or more, it's when you tend to find these guys that are like that second or so faster, and then, you know, you bump that up again for the Cat 1A guys. But with this track, not a lot of places to make up that much room. Basically 3 corners, really, I'd sort of suggest. So it's going to be interesting to see how much quicker they are.
Yep, there's not that many corners, so not that many opportunities for them to show just how good they are.
This track's all about getting a good qualifier and then maintaining that position.
Just been having some slight technical issues here in the comms box. For some reason, our keyboard does not want to be a keyboard. There we go, we are up and running again. Oof. Nothing like doing your own tech support on the fly. So they're on their first flying lap. We've got Danico from Hoon Corp coming around the final bend onto the main straight. Let's see what he can lay down for his first lap. He'll get that brief moment of purple. 56.7. And your boy Muffin, straight to the top of the table, 56.399. Heafy into P2.
Oh, Danico's gone for a bit of a slide, unfortunately.
It's gone well. Heafy's not that far behind. He's clocked to 56.5. Odes with a 56.6. It's only 600s. Oh, there we go. E-Bulk into P2. He's laid down at 56.43. He's only a 10th behind Muffin.
Just spotted someone's backwards on the... he's just waiting for it to clear. It's alright.
Hodes in P4. Slappers currently in P5. Danico's down in P6. CPJ in 7th. He's getting a lovely little slipstream down the straight. That's helped him out to put him up into P4. And has instantly been slapped back down to P5 by Tinder Rags.
Yeah. Oh, 0.002 between the Rags and the Heafy.
The racing accountant, aka Tech Racing, aka the tax man, to put himself into P3. And we saw Tim Durags here at the racing in the Community Series race last night. He has shown he has got some pace, so I wouldn't expect to see him that far down the order for too much longer.
Up to 7th, there's only like 2 tenths.
That's insane. Oh, here we go. Stickers is on a good lap. He's up on his best time. Which is a 56.7. So, yeah, there's been some movement. Such a short track. It's hard to keep track of everyone here. Not going to lie. Slappers has put himself into P3, but he's into a little bit of traffic. He's right on the rear bumper of Sizzling Sausage, who's currently got himself in P10.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if any of them actually pit and go for a fresh set of tyres. More just to get themselves into a clean spot more than anything.
That's true. Slappers might be thinking about that exact thing right now. He's caught in a fair bit of traffic. And we are bang on the halfway mark. So just keep an eye on him, see if he ducks into the pits. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
There we go. Must have been listening in, or at least had the same train of thought as what you did. CPJ moves up into 3rd place.
Extremely hard track to pass on, to be honest. Accountant goes in. And Muffin has dropped that time down a little bit, 56.295.
A little bit of improvement. Showing me that he has pitted on lap 4, which I think this is just GT7 doing GT7 things, because it also now tells me he's pitted on lap 3 and lap 5.
Yeah, this typical GT7, unfortunately.
And he looked like he was about to pit right then, but he's just using every last bit of the track that he can.
The time differences in these cars, like, it's just like, you know, you could say, I only qualified 10th or 11th, but in saying that, you might only be a few hundredths off first. Some of them are so close. There's thousandths of a second between them.
He's managed to move himself up into P4 on the previous lap.
Case in point, CP is 4 thousandths in front of Heafy, who is 4 thousandths in front of Slappers, mate.
That is incredibly tight. Tighter than a fisher's proverbial, right there in the top 5 of this qualifying session.
Well, you could almost say as tight as the Community Series finished last night.
What Not quite. I think that was down to 1/1000th of a second. That was insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the way down to 7th, it's 2/10ths. Separating
Yeah,
7 drivers.
That's just
nuts.
And even if you go to 8th, it's quarter of a second, and then like even to 9th, it's just it's insanely close.
That's
what
being the quiet achiever tonight. Currently sitting in P. Oh, he's into P8. Looks to be struggling just that little bit.
Stickers has dropped down to 10th in the sort of practice runs. I thought he was doing a little bit better than that, but you know, it could always change when it comes to the race. Sometimes the track feels just that little bit slipperier.
Muffin's decided I'm going to head into the pits now. Might feel that he's got the best out of those soft tyres. Wants to jump in for a fresh set. Hode sitting P9.
Oh, CP.
Yep, CPJ goes one better, moves up into P2.
9/1000ths off Muffin.
He's 400ths in front of Ebol in P3. Who is, by these standards, has a massive gap of 1/10 to Heafy in P4 as Ebol comes into the pits.
I just noticed Slappers, who pitted, is back behind Sausage again. So, I don't know. No, he's backed out of it. So he must have trying to give himself a little bit of room. Such a short track.
That looks like exactly what he's doing. He just wants his own space, doesn't want to be near anybody. Man after my own heart in that regard.
Yeah. Still, some guys are still dropping times. It's still, even though they're up to lap 10, they're still getting quicker.
Still tied up the top. Taxman's down P6. Tim Durags, P7. Dadson still hovering in P8. Well, there's a minute lap. That's a bit of a mare. Possibly a pit stop, judging by his previous lap.
Someone's around. Middle of the track. I think that was CP. He might have parked it, has he? Or is he stuck? Such a short track, it's hard to get a break. Get yourself if you've spun.
It's CPJ. Parked backwards into the wall of the main straight. Yep, just waiting.
Yeah, he's just waiting.
Just waiting for a cleared part of the track to get back going again. Good to see. Great awareness from the driver.
It's like we've got a few people finished.
Yep, the final lap warning has come out for CPJ, so he's coming around the final bend now. He will definitely not be improving. After having a very intense conversation with Mr. Barry R.
Muffin's on his last lap. See if he improves.
He's hugging that pit lane wall. Wants to get every scrap of advantage he can. Unfortunately, does not improve, but will hold off on pole position. And it's looking like everybody has finished. Now there we go. And that is our Category 1B, brought to you by Boxer Beauty, qualifying, run and done. So let's take a quick look at our qualifying results, have a little recap, and then we'll get straight into race 1. So our All right, let's try that again with the correct graphics, shall we? Our qualifying results brought to you by Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. On pole position, your boy Captain Muffin with a 56.295. Not as quick as I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. But
No, that's a little bit off the last Sunday's racing. But in saying that, this track, like a lot of tracks, that win can make a huge difference.
yeah, now,
Huge
don't get me
difference.
wrong, people. I'm definitely not calling him slow. Can confirm all of these drivers tonight are significantly quicker than yours truly. Just not as... Anyway, moving along. Joining him on the front row of the grid is, from CP Motorsports, is CPJ. He was a massive 9,000ths of a second behind Muffin. Second row of the grid from Symmetry Motorsports is E-Bulk, back after missing the last round, I do believe. And joining him on the second row for Thunder Motorsports, or Thunder Esports, is Heafy. Third row of the grid for Dadson Racing is Slapper's Mate and the Taxman. Fourth row of the grid is Timder Rags for Switchblade, and joining him is Dadson from Dadson Racing in P8. Fifth row of the grid for Hooncorp is Hose, just keeping out his teammate Danico. Sixth row of the grid, Stickers from Lightning Motorsport with the Banker from Doghouse, and rounding out our grid tonight, and a big surprise for me in P13 is Sizzling Sausage. Must be having a bit of a rough round, or rough qualifying session, because I don't know, maybe qualifying's not his thing. I just expected to see him a little further up the grid. But,
I don't know. I remember last season a couple of the... actually, it might have been the season before, season 8, at a couple of the tracks like Seaside and stuff like that. He was pumping out some massive qualifying times. Like, he was pumping out a good top end of Div 2, sort of middle of Div 1, if not a bit higher on a couple of those tracks. So he's got some pace when he wants it.
yeah,
Might be just the car.
Yeah, pace might just be eluding him for that 10 minutes tonight, but hopefully he can find it in the next 2 lots of 20 minutes. So what do you say we get started into a race 1?
Sounds like a plan. Good luck, everybody.
Everyone in the YouTube chat, thank you for joining us. Please hit the like and subscribe, you know the deal. Also, throw in your podium predictions, no particular order, just the top 3 if you would be so kind. Like to see what your thoughts are as to who's going to be standing on the podium and starting up the front for race 2. We've got the drivers on the grid. Lights are on. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. And the lights are green and we are underway. Everybody's got a pretty clean start. Nobody's stuck on the grid. Nobody's stalled it. Little bit of jostling going into the braking zone for turn 1. I refuse to acknowledge that little kink in the main stroke. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
E-Bulk's had a bit of a mare at turn 1. He's gone very, very wide. And that has dropped
themselves out.
Dropped him down from P3 down to P10. It's a bit of a mare at turn 1. Pretty sure that was self-inflicted, just running wide onto the gravel.
Can confirm, easy to do.
It's all very well mannered into the braking zone, the final turn. I'm not going to go and do any corner names tonight because, not being a massive fan of this track, none of the names would be very pleasant or allowed to be said before 9 o'clock.
Heafy going for a run into turn 1. Up the inside, gets it done too.
Textbook manoeuvre under brakes into turn 1. Takes CPJ, who's got slappers right on the back of him now. He's definitely keen to put the moves in early on in the race. Doesn't want to let Muffin get off and just let him run off into the distance.
He bulks all over the back of the banker. He's trying to make some ground back up by the look of it after that bit of a horrendous start, unfortunately.
Stickers up into P9. He's had the advantage of being able to make up some spots early in the race. He'll be happy with that.
Tim DeRags going up the inside.
Hodes has had a bit of a mare somewhere on the first lap. He's down in P13 right now. Not good. Back up the front. Muffin is definitely not skipping away with it. He's got Heafy within 4/10.
No, he was about 6/10 out, but it looks like Heafy. But they've dropped over a bit over a second away from CPJ50, so they're actually pulling away a bit, them two.
They might be helped out by CPJ having his hands full with Slappers, who's looking very, very racy.
Oh, someone's around.
There we go. Who was that? We did catch that. That was not the banker. That was not Sizzling Sausage. That was the Taxman. Has had a bit of a mare, and I think Denico might have had a hand in that. I'm not sure. It appears to be redressing on the main straight. I unfortunately have not caught the replay on that one, so we will just have to let the stewards possibly do their thing if they have to. Muffin and Heafy, gap still around the 4/10. CPJ's managed to pull a bit of a gap on Slappers. I don't think that's through any errors or any incidents. I think CPJ's just run a 56.9 on that previous lap to Slappers 57 flat. It's only a 10th.
Yeah, I don't know with these guys whether they're going to try and save a little bit of tyre or not.
That's the thing with the sprint race. It's nice and short. Oh, they're very, very sideways there from Tim DeRags coming out of turn 1. Manages to hold it.
Muffin now 8/10 over Heafy, who's also 8/10 over CP.
Stickers has found himself up into P6 right now.
Yeah, how's he done that?
I think he's just having a very solid drive so far, and taking advantage of all the mistakes of other drivers happening around him.
Yeah, I think maybe when the Taxman and Denico had that bit of a coming together, that's probably popped him up a couple of spots as well.
I don't think he's going to be complaining. He's putting in very consistent laps around the high 56s. So I don't put the moxie on him. I will get the camera off him.
He's done a 56.4, so that's a pretty decent lap time as well.
Baker's in P7. Dadson's done a pretty good job moving up the grid as well. He's into P8. E-Bulk in P9 after his less than optimal start to the race. Runs out
And
wide
correct me if I'm...
Sorry, yeah, correct you if you're wrong.
Yeah, if it's the top 8 that get points in this first race.
It is correct.
Oh, Muffin's out to 2 seconds.
Wish I could tell you exactly how many points they get, but that knowledge is actually not known to me.
Wonder what's happened there. Muffin's out to a bit over 2 seconds. Oh, Heafy and CPJ have swapped spots. And Heafy has got the fastest lap, but he must have then had a bit of an issue.
He's done a 58.25 on the previous lap, so I think he's possibly dropped it a little bit.
Yeah, that's put him really close to Slappers, and
well, that's a free kick, Captain Muffin, on that one. He will be delighted with that. I'm pretty sure there'll be some choice words coming from underneath the helmet of Heafy's at the moment, but not much you can do. He's trying to go around the outside of CPJ on the final turn.
Yeah, it's probably good we don't have access to the driver's microphones at times.
There would be a lot of bleeping, I would imagine. But he's got a great exit, and he's gone for the textbook move again, down the inside, under brakes, turn 1. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. I'll have that. He says.
Beautiful. Not an easy track to pass on either.
You've definitely got to get a good drive out of it, the previous corner, and set it up well in advance.
You don't get any cleaner than that. But also CP, he's given him the room. He hasn't tried to sort of fight over it. He's probably realised he's got that little bit more pace, and he hasn't tried to block him or do anything stupid. So, yeah, good clean racing.
Seems to have a bit of a smart head on him. He knows that if we waste too much time battling, that's going to be a possible free kick to Slappers, who is not that far behind.
No, but in saying that, CP is having a bit of he's sticking his nose in that last turn and everything as well, having a little bit of a look. So, yeah, quite interesting. He's not given up.
Stickers watch currently P5. And he's got the banker in P6, and Dadson has got E-Bolt for company, who's looking to make his way back up the grid. He's into P8. He's on his own little bit of a comeback drive. He's got Dadson right in front of him, not wanting to give up that P7. Because these two are right on the cusp of those points, as you said, top 8. And we've got Hodes there, not that far behind as well for Hooncorp. P9, he'll want a piece of those points as well.
Yeah, Stickers is doing a great job. These guys know too that, you know, the finishing order for this race is the next race's order as well. So not only is there more points, but it sets them up better for the next race as well.
Speaking of setting up, we've got E-Bulk setting up Dadson down the main straight. Really get the pass done before the braking zone. Dadson thought about having a conversation, but decided to back out of it.
That's brought Hodes right up as well.
Yeah. E-Bulk up into P7. He's done well to come back from P10. Now, as we're getting close to the halfway mark of this, how about we just have a quick tyre update? How are the guys travelling on tyres? Who's the best? Who's the worst?
Yeah, I was just having a bit of a run through as you were saying that. Excuse me. Not a lot in it. Muffin is probably a little bit more worn than CP, but he's also 3.3 seconds ahead, so...
Sorry, CPJ also has his handful right now. He's got Heafy.
Oh, yeah, he's just got past, yep.
Heafy's overtake version 3. Is this deja vu? Didn't we see this last lap? Heafy overtaking down the inside of turn 1?
Yeah, it's starting to look like Groundhog Day. We could make a little reel of just Heafy passing CP, I think.
I swear that's the third time I've seen that exact move.
Yeah, I think you would be right.
Oh, Heafy's having a big take slapper moment. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for the yelling, but he's gone wide at turn 4, caught the grass, and has done a brilliant job of holding onto that. But during his tank slapper moment, Mr. Slappers himself has made his way past. So,
Heafy's got damage too. Up front.
It's not gone well. That aero damage is going to hurt him down this long straight with a kink. It's a straight. Anyway, back to our tyres. So CPJ's doing a little bit better than Muffin, you were saying?
Oh, look, we're talking like a couple of percent at most. To be honest, going through it, it doesn't. Oh, probably the worst is probably Danico out of the top. Everyone else, it's nearly they're within a couple of percent. There's not much in it at all.
So body's fairly equally worn out, I would say.
Yeah, but they've still got they've probably got a good 60% tyre left. The worst would probably be down to 55 maybe. So, you know, I'm guessing they're going to do the 21, maybe 22 laps, depending. Looking at some of the times, what's Muffin's times? All his is in the 56s. So Muffin will get 22 laps, I would suggest. I don't know about CP and Slappers. Maybe. Slappers, all his laps are in the 56s. CP's got a couple of 57s there, but that's probably from battling with Heafy and that as well.
This is a great little battle with CPJ and Slappers for the second and third positions on the podium.
And we've got Stickers and the Banker just sitting there, just doing clean lap after clean lap.
I think Heafy might be a little bit out of contention. Oh, as Slappers sticks the nose in down the inside of turn 1. Takes the spot. I think CPJ is probably getting sick of someone going down the inside of him on turn 1. I swear that's like 3 from Heafy, and then now Slappers. Probably not going to be happy about it, but
4 overtakes in 13 laps.
With such a long straight and such a good slipstream, there's not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately. So
I don't know about you, but I sort of found with these cars a little bit, it's not until you sort of get up around that, you got to be like up around that 200 k's an hour. You got to be 3/4 of the way down this straight before you really start to see any air effects, I think.
I think if you get it, well, in conjunction with a better run out of the final corner, which I could probably do maybe 1 in 4.
Yeah. Captain Muffin out to 3.8 over Slappers. Little bit of...
Got himself a little half-second buffer back to CPJ.
Yeah.
Stickers P4 now.
Wow.
He's having a sensational drive, and I will get the camera off him just so I don't jinx him. Heafy. I don't know how to put this, but he's having a bit of a run of bad luck in this race so far. Just slipped back down to P5, but he's still on the back of Stickers. There's still 5 and a bit minutes to go, so he can still get back into the better points.
Yeah, he had some really good pace, but he's just had a few little mistakes here and there by the look of it.
And on a track like this in a sprint race, small mistakes can bite big.
And he's still got the fastest lap, so his fastest lap is what, 200ths of a second faster than what the quali was.
Qualifying was, what was it? Just under a 56.3 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, 56.295 maybe, I think.
While Stickers has run deep on the final turn, that's let Heafy get up alongside him down the main straight.
I missed what happened to Tim DeRags as well. He was up there in that middle, but he's all the way back into 10th now, fighting with Sizzling Sausage.
So Heafy's got the position under brakes. Stickers looking for the switchback. Heafy having none of it. Another textbook move down the inside of turn 1. Stickers thinking of putting the nose in down turn 4, backs out of it. Knows better. Oh, does run a little bit wide.
I think the banker's rubbing his hands together.
Yeah, if I was the banker, I'd be watching this in front of me, just be rubbing your hands together, licking your lips, and you're ready to pounce as soon as one of those guys puts a foot wrong.
Oh, he's pulling right up on the back of him too.
Gets himself a good drive out of that final turn. He could be in a position to make a move at turn 1. Probably not going to be quite close enough. Just behind them, we've got Hodes, who's managed to make his way past Dadson. up into P7. Rags has got Danico right on his rear bumper. Not that far behind is Sizzling Sausage. P11. And E-Bulk has had another bit of a mare moment. He's found himself down in P13 now. Have missed what's happened there, but it's a fair way off the back as well. The Taxman's P12. And E-Bulk is another 11.5 seconds behind. So something very, very bad happened on lap 12. He's got a 1 minute 18.2 lap there compared to, you know, your average 56, 57 second lap. So unfortunately we didn't catch what happened there, but suffice to say, he'll be picking himself up and coming back for another crack in race 2.
Be happy with himself too. He's sitting in that top 8. He's got himself pretty much a 5-second buffer over 9th as well. So he's sitting pretty there, just sitting behind Hodes.
All he's got to do is to pick up the extra points from race 1. Is just bring it home. Don't do anything silly. Just hang on to the back of Hodes, and if the opportunity presents itself to make a move, by all means go for it. But we're at, what, 18 minutes now. Going to be 2 laps left for these guys. So Muffin might get, where's he at right now? He's coming up to turn 4 on lap 20. You can definitely see lap 21. He's got a great buffer of over nearly 3.5 seconds back to Slappers.
Yeah, with those times, I can't see him not getting... He should get a 22. He might just scrape it in, but...
Fifi does still have the fastest lap. CPJ's comfortably in P3.
This is where we're starting... Sorry, this is where we're starting to see a bit of difference in those tyres now.
Right, who's the offender? Who's the tyre murderer? Well, I can tell you the answer. I can tell you the answer.
Danico for 1.
Muffin for 2.
Datsun is probably a little bit harsher on it. Heafy's a little bit. CP, Slappers, and Muffin are all pretty similar. They've still got a good 25% tyre, 20-25% tyre. And they've only got that 1 or 2 laps to go, so if they lose anything, it's not going to be much. I think Muffin's going to definitely get this 22. He only needs about 10 seconds from the bottom corner.
So Efi, after having a brilliant run earlier in the race, getting up into P2, I think he's just consolidating P4 now. He's cursing a little bit, but things could have gone a lot worse.
Muffin goes through. Will Slappers get it? I think... Or...
No, Slappers is our first finisher.
No.
P2. CPJ, P3. Heafy brings home P4. Stickers into P5. Banker, P6. Hodes, P7. Dadson, last of the points, P8. Timderags brings home P9. Danico, P10, just over Sizzling Sausage in P11. Taxman, P12. E-Bulk with a bit of a rough run tonight, P13. He's had a rough run, but we'll give him some PB time as he comes around the final bend.
And Muffin coming around the final bend, heading up the straight. He's sideways. He's all over the place. He's giving it drifts.
And
he's around.
And he's nearly put it backwards into the pit lane. Muffin taking full advantage of his look at me lap to bin it on the final corner. I believe that's what they call a skill issue, Muffin, but there was no issue with your race win. Congratulations.
Yeah, if he's got skill issues, I will accept them.
That is a race 1 run and done. Now we'll just have a quick recap over the race results. If if I can find what I'm supposed to be doing. Rightio. Our race results. P1, Captain Muffin with a... Where was I going with that? I don't know. He's won the race. P1. Second place, Slapper's Mate. Actually, I'm fairly certain Slappers is going to be very happy with that result. As will his team owner, who's also finished in the top 8. But third place, CPJ. Fourth place, Heafy, who also gets the extra point from the fastest lap of a 56.275. Just pipping Muffin who ran a 56.299 as his fastest lap. So no trifecta for Captain Muffin for pole position, race win, and fastest lap. I don't think he will be complaining too much. P5 is Stickers, P6 The Banker, P7 Hodes, P8 Dadson, and just outside the points but not out of contention, P9 Tim Durags, P10 Denico, P11 Sizzling Sausage, P12 The Taxman aka The Racing Accountant, and last but not least E-Bulk in P13. Well, that was actually
That's
quite
a mix-up.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that race. Like,
Yeah.
a lot more overtaking than I was anticipating.
Yeah, if you had a look at the placings now, like, where did Slappers start? He had to have started back in like 7th or something, did he? 6th or 7th, maybe. I could be wrong. He could have been a little bit higher than that, but
My memory when it comes to qualifying starting positions is historically terrible.
yeah, it took
so
us.
I'm not even going to try and tell you what that was, but I think another one of the big movers in that race was Stickers.
Yeah.
Because he
Stickers and the Banker, to be honest, they
He
both
qualified
did really
outside
well.
of the top 10 and has managed to bring it home in P5. So I think he will be absolutely stoked with himself in that race.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
He's managed to keep his nose clean, kept the car on the tarmac, which, as shown by and pointed in the right direction, which, as shown by Muffin on the final lap there, can be challenging, but definitely helps in achieving a good race result. So I will stop waffling on right now, and we are just going to go to a short intermission while we get the grid set up for race 2. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not go away. We shall be right back. Okay, and we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have managed to do what you need to do in that little intermission, because we are going to kick straight back into race 2. We have the grid set, we have the drivers on track and are raring to go. So hopefully you've had your toilet break, you've topped up your drinks, you've grabbed some snacks, put the dog out, fed the cat, etc, etc. What do you say, Grovel? Shall we go racing?
I think we shall. I'll just give them the good luck. And let's see how we go. So they're taking advantage of getting a little bit of a few laps in, considering it's a reverse grid. So good luck everyone, and here we go.
The old refresher, it's the it's the same track, but we are now going the other way, so trying to get that muscle memory going again can be quite tricky.
Yeah, initially I don't know. Sort of like the other way first, but then I like this way, so.
Cars are on the grid. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the lights are out, and we are underway here at Sardegna C Reverse. Little bit of a, not a great start for E-Bulk there. He's off the back of the grid there. Got Slappers taking the very wide out late apex line for turn 1. A little bit of bumping and grinding. Captain Muffin having a bit of a tag slapper, which has given Slappers the opportunity to get right up on his rear bumper. CPJ and Heafy picking up where they left off in race 1. Top 4.
Listen to them tyres.
Oh, they're screaming already, and it's only lap 1. Top 4 have managed to bust away a little bit of a gap back to Stickers in P5. It's got a 5-car train with Hodes in the banker getting a little bit feisty through the chicane section. Don't think anybody's... I do see 1 car way off the back of the grid. Someone's had a bit of a mare.
Yeah, Dadson's dropped right back to 12th as well.
Or Tim Durags is well off the back of the pack. Dadson side by side with Sausage into turn 1, backs out of it. Wonder what's happened there with Tim Durags. Things have not gone well on lap 1.
Oh, this middle group, 7th, 8th and 9th. Oh, side by side. Sorting themselves out. This top right corner here that most of them are going through now, wow, it's such a tricky corner.
How good do these cars sound when they go flying past just in a train like they are?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Slappers has taken over the lead of the race. Heafy's having a continuation of just little moments there, very sideways onto the main straight. Just dropped him off the back of the top 3. Little errors are just costing him. Muffin using the pit lane exit, I guess, as part of the racetrack to get the widest possible line into turn 1.
Yeah, if you're paying for the track, you want to use every inch of it.
Yep, he's paid for the whole track. He is going to use the whole track. It seems to work out for him because he's made up a 10th on Slappers. Oh, he's onto the grass. That's getting very side by side into the final sector. When I say final sector, there is only 2 of them. Final section.
Wow, that's brave.
Down the inside of the final turn.
Slappers gives him room.
Slappers on the outside. They're going to have a conversation with it. It's a drag race down the main straight. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. Race 2 is kicked off and has kicked off early.
I bet you CP's smile's just about coming out of his helmet.
Yep, you'll be loving this. Oh, Muffin parks it on the apex. Balks up Slappers a little bit.
I reckon CP will want a few paybacks on passing, to be honest.
He's going to have his hands full with Heafy, who's managed to bridge that gap back. He's only 4 tenths down on CPJ. He's going to want to join this conversation for the top step on the podium as well.
We've sort of missed a bit as well, because Stickers has dropped back to 8th, the Bankers back into 10th, and the accountant's up into 6th.
Just looking at the order there and noticed, yeah, Stickers has dropped back to P8 while we've been watching the battle up front. There's been a lot of battles and movement going on in the mid-pack as well. Sorry, we can't be everywhere at once, ladies and gentlemen. My bad. I just don't know where to look right now. It's one of those races where just everything's going off at once.
And Slappers is back in front while we've been looking at that. So, yeah.
I genuinely don't know where to point the camera right now.
No.
So E-Bulk's made his way back up to P9.
Oh, CP's going to have a go. And he's done it too by the look of it, has he?
He's a little bit sideways.
Oh.
He's playing the Minister of Defence into the final turn. No way past for Muffin.
And this is letting Slappers pull out. Look at him. He's nearly a second up now.
Muffin's got a great run down the main straight. He's on the inside, so he's not going to have access to his pit lane exit. Or is he? Oh, he cuts right across. Nearly takes out the front of CP's car. Now,
meanwhile, Oates has put out the fastest lap.
He is a former CP motorsports driver, so I'm not sure how that would be if he took out the front of the car. Might have some outstanding credit with his former team owner, not sure. But he was determined to use his optimal line into turn 1. And now he just wants to put his head down and get after Slappers, who's got comfortable, not really comfortable, 8/10, but compared to what he did have, it's a noticeable gap. He's determined to keep CPJ busy, and Hose is just quietly back within slipstream range of Heafy as well. He wants to join the party, and he's bringing the taxman with him as well. Field's just started to spread out a little bit. A few little gaps appearing here and there. Danico P7, E-Bulk up into P8, Stickers unfortunately down to P9. He's got the banker for company. Two very seasoned drivers there. They'll have a lot of respect for each other, be giving each other plenty of room.
Slappers has done a 56-1, and I just noticed Muffin was purple, so are we going to see a 55 out of this race? See what happens when they hit that finish line to see if anyone can...
Muffin's previous lap was a 56.257 to Slapper's 56.1. Muffin does a 56.278 that lap to Slapper's 56.3, so he gains the 10th.
Low 56s when you've got a 20-minute race. That's yeah, they're not hanging about, that's for sure. They're not sparing any tyre or any fuel.
That is quite rapid. Heafy's currently purple as they come through that horrible right-handed sweeper.
Oh, you can hear the tyres on everyone's car just squealing through there. You see quite a few of them taking a little bit of grass with them as well. I will admit, I did my fair share of lawn mowing on that corner.
And in my practice sessions and in my race, the tyres weren't the only thing squealing going around that corner. There was me, the driver sometimes, as Heafy goes purple with a 56.144. I was just keeping an eye on him because I saw he was purple. He's managed to hold on to it. He's keen to get the extra points from the fastest lap. Did so in the previous race.
If you go all the way to 6th place, they've all done either a 56-1 or a... Oh, Hodes is off, is he? No. He was having a good comeback too.
Alright, let's see if we can get that on our JSM Accounting live action replay. First one for the night, so...
I feel for him, that's put him all the way to last. Such a tricky corner.
or very lucky to have ghosted, because his teammate would have absolutely murdered him in that incident. But he's done a great job to be aware of traffic that's going on around him. And he's not come out onto the track in front of anyone else. So there we go. Yours truly has worked out how to use a replay function.
Look at CP, 56.005. Like that's a sniff of a 55. That is.
5 thousandths of a second off it. He's moving. Now, one could argue that he's got the slipstream from Muffin, who is also moving quite rapidly, but you know, the times don't lie. He's still done it.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say before. The top 6 or 7 guys have all either hit a 56.1 or a 56.2. So none of them are. They're not sitting about the top 6-7 guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few more cars hit that 22 laps this time round.
Which is dropped off the back of CP for the moment. But the taxman up into P5, he will be absolutely cheering about that. Nico in P6. E-Bulk on his comeback drive into P7. Stickers in the banker, still running line astern in P8, P9. 1 second gap back to Sizzling Sausage in P10.
Oh, here goes CP. Is he going to go for it? No. That was just Muffin going. Oh, he might be up the inside. No. No, just me getting a little bit excited.
There's some great racing here with these top three.
Yeah, the sort of midfield last race, they seem to be quite bunched up, whereas this race, they're sort of spread out a little bit.
At the halfway point of the race now, in these top 4, who's in the best position in terms of tyre? Who's going to have the most rubber left under them towards the later stages of the race?
Honestly, going through the whole field, if there's a % difference, I'd be surprised. It's like it's just like looking at a mirror image of each other. There's CP might have this, if anything, has a slightly better tyre, but I'm talking, you know, we're talking like maybe 2% at most.
A fraction of a millimetre of tread depth, so to speak.
Yeah. Mind you, I just realised I was looking at the right-hand front and not the left as well. It's the other way around on this track. But in saying that, there's a couple of percentage difference, but there's nothing that's going to really make a difference at this point in time, I don't think. It is one of those things with these tyres, though. Once you hit that sort of 60 to 50% mark, they tend to wear quicker. Like the last 50% seems to wear a bit quicker than the top 50%. So
CPJs, I'm gonna have to stop saying CP because that's his team. I'm gonna have to start getting it in my head and calling him J50. Alright, so J50, he's sitting on the back of Muffin. Just pops a nose out here and there just to let Muffin know he's still around. Still in the old Craig Lowndes. Just show the nose. How you doing, mate? Still here. Not going anywhere.
I tell you what, Slappers hasn't put a foot wrong this race either.
He's doing a fantastic job. He's got himself out in front and he's just maintaining that gap. Oh, here we go. J50's right in the toe.
Yeah.
Right in the toe of Muffin. Now we know Muffin's going to swing to the left for the... That was an absolute demonic braking zone for Muffin there. He had to make that happen.
Heafy's trying to capitalise on it as well because he's sniffing around the back of J50's bumper as well, so... Stickers back up into 7th. He's just got in front of E-Bulk, I think.
Yes, E-Bulk was up in P7 behind Danico.
So Stickers on a bit of a comeback after whatever happened earlier on as well.
Had a bit of a rough start to the race. He would have started in P5 from memory. Dropped down a few spots. A gap to Danico in front of him, a few seconds, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Muffins dropped the time a little bit to Slappers, and he's breaking away a little bit from CP, I think. Don't know whether he's just trying to be saving a little bit of tyre towards the end of the race or what, but Heafy's having a good sniff. I'd be surprised if he has a crack here shortly. Mind you, sitting on someone's bumper and getting past them is two entirely different things.
One thing to catch up to someone, then you got to find a way past.
Heafy very squiggly coming out of that.
The gap between Muffin and Slappers is still around the 7th, 10ths. Hasn't really gone anywhere. J50's holding on to 3rd, despite Heafy's best efforts.
Oh, someone's gone.
That's Heafy.
Who was that? Captain Muffin.
Oh.
Muffin's dropped back to 4th. Oh dear.
Let's see if we can catch that on our action replay and find out what has happened there.
No, he's my teammate. We shouldn't. So that's given Slappers a bit over a second to CP.
Turn 1.
I think you'd be correct.
Found a bit of grass as well, maybe, and just got all kinds of squiggly.
Yeah, I didn't see it fully. I just caught it out of the back of my eye, and it did look a little bit like he come out of that turn 1, and he had the back of it sort of doing a good little shake. So
that's a big free kick to Slappers right now, and he's in P1. He's got a 1 second gap back to J50. He's got a 1.3 second gap back to Heafy. Who's got a 1 second gap back to Muffin. Where are we at? We're at lap 18. We saw 21 laps for most of the drivers in the previous race. So Slappers might get 21. Might?
I think he might get 22. Looking at his times, a lot of low 56s to begin with. He's just hit a 57 flat. If you to get 22 laps, I think you got to hit a 57.145 around that sort of time. But in saying that, you also lose possibly about 5 to 6 seconds on the first lap because of the start grid. So you've got to pull that back to start with. So anything under that 57 sort of one, you're gaining a bit of time on the track against the clock. So.
Oh, hang on. Muffin's had a bigger moment. He's down in P7. What's happened here?
Oh no.
I just saw the taxman's up into P4. What? Hey, Danico P5, Stickers into P6, Muffin in P7. Is he carrying damage? Is there something going on we don't know about?
I don't know. I can't see any damage. It's all going wrong for him in this last half of the race. He was so strong up the front.
He's had a right royal mare there. He's now got E-Bulk right on his rear bumper, wanting to have a conversation about that P7.
I tell you what though, this is giving J50, he's rubbing his hands together. He's sitting pretty in second, just behind Slappers. more points on offering for this race compared to the first one as well.
4 points on offer for this race. He's second behind Slappers, but he has got quite a comfortable gap of just over 2 seconds back to Heafy in P3.
I tell you what, the racing accountant too, after his, if I'm thinking correctly, he had a bit of an issue at the first race and dropped a fair way back, but he's now up into 4th place.
Putting in a fantastic effort in the second race tonight.
Same with Danico, did he also drop back? I'm sure he dropped quite a way back in the first race. I think he had to pull over and let someone redress, didn't he?
I believe so. He did have a rough race one.
Wow, he's
had a
pulled it
great
back
recovery. Back to P6.
Yep.
Muffin in
Banker's
P7.
9.
There might have been a little bit of lag going on there, but I saw him going off track again. I did see E-Bolt go off track.
Yeah, in the grass.
I definitely saw that. Hasn't seemed to cost him too much.
All you can do there if you go off, especially if you get all the wheels into that grass, is just to keep the wheels straight, try and keep off the throttle and bring it back on track. And
I think the dirty tyres cost him into that final corner braking zone. As they're on the fastest lap. And the
top 3 are going.
The banker has pipped him in the drag race down the main straight. Just as they came out of the final turn, they were called onto their final lap, and that was all she wrote for them.
Yep. The top 3 have
Taxman
gone
P4,
through.
Danico P5, Stickers P6, Muffin unfortunately P7, Banker P8, just pipping out E-Bulk in P9, Datsun finishing P10, Tim Durags P11, Hodes P12, Sizzling Sausage, not his night, it would seem, in P13. But on the Look at Me lap, coming over the finish line now, for the sensational drive in race 2 of our sprint round is Slappers, followed by CPJ and Heafy, taking out the final step on the podium. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Category 1B run and done. Wow. I thought there was a lot going on in race 1, but race 2 comes out and delivers in spades. Some good news, some bad news.
My apologies if we missed some of the obvious passes or racing in that, because it's only a 20-minute race and a short track, and there was just so much going on.
There was a lot going on, focusing on one battle and one race, and then next minute there's overtakes and people going off track elsewhere. That was a very busy time for everybody involved. So, recap your race results from race 2. Your winner is Slappers from Datsun Racing. He had a best lap time of a 56.164, but he was pipped out by a second place getter of CPJ, who ran a 56.005. So very much banging on the door of a 55-second race lap, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for a Category 1A, where I anticipate we will see some 55-second laps tonight. On the final step of the podium is Heafy for Thunder Esports. Had a bit of a rough run tonight, but I dare say he will be pretty happy with a podium finish. P4 is the racing accountant, with racing under a slightly different identity tonight. Please don't call security, ladies and gentlemen. P5, Danico. P6, Stickers. P7, after a bit of a mare late in the race, Captain Muffin. P8, the Banker. P9, E-Bulk. P10, Datsun. P11, Tinder Rags. P12, Hodes. And rounding out our grid tonight, P13 is Sizzling Sausage. Well, ladies and gentlemen in the YouTube chat, your driver of the day nominations, if you would. Who are you thinking? Grovel, any thoughts?
Man, I don't know, to be honest. It's sort of hard, because you normally don't want to give it to the winner, but Slappers didn't win to start with. He was further back, but he's managed a sensational drive. But also CPJ 50 has also done an outstanding job. But then I look back and I go, okay, Danico, who didn't have a good first race, he's brought himself up. Stickers has done such a great job. Even Danico, who, you know, had to sort of pull over and, you know, give that position back, and he went like back to last place, and now second race he's in 5th. So look, to be honest with you, I'm probably going to have to give it to Danico.
Not a bad summary at all. Who have we got in the YouTube chat? We've got thoughts for the banker for driver of the day. Captain Muffin admitting to some serious skill issues on display there. I agree with a lot of what you said about the driver of the day. I'm going to put my thoughts towards J50. Just pipping out Slappers because of my bias against giving the driver of the day, my driver of the day nomination, to the winner. Jade had a pretty solid run through qualifying and race 1 and race 2, so never really put a foot wrong, held his own, and has managed to walk away with a pretty decent result and a big bag of points from tonight's race. So full credit to him.
He got past multiple times in that first race, but still seemed to be, he was still holding at the end of it. So plus he got the fastest lap of the day. So yeah, it's just hard to choose because there's so many drivers tonight that it sort of went from the back to the front, or from the middle back to the back and then back to the middle, and yeah, some excellent racing, that's for sure.
Well, if that's what Category 1B has had in store for us tonight, I cannot wait to see what Category 1A has to serve up for us tonight. We're just going to head off to a short intermission between races, and we will be back very, very shortly with the Category 1A sprint races. Thank you very much, Grovel, for joining me in the comms box tonight and hosting the races tonight. It is very much appreciated.
No, it was my pleasure. It was sort of a bit of a last minute thing, and I sort of jumped in, but yeah, always happy to help out.
Beautiful. It's always a pleasure to have you, and we shall be back very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go too far. And welcome back, everybody. We have finished our intermission. We have kicked the Category 1B guys off the track, and we have the Category 1A guys on the pit lane, raring to go for tonight's qualifying. Just like to say thank you again for Grovel for being race director for the previous racing, and joining me now in the comps box is none other than the plumber himself, Mr. Bumcrack. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you. It's going to be a very interesting race, this one. I'm really looking forward to watching this. Beautiful, clear, cloudless skies. It's it's going to be a great afternoon's racing.
Have the guys been looking rather rapid in practice?
They have been. I'm not going to divulge some of the practice times there, but suffice to say, it makes me sick.
Right, that good, huh?
They're not bad. They're not bad.
Not bad at all. Now we're just going to take a quick look at the category points for the drivers. Now I've got my glasses so I can actually read them out this time. So with a 10-point lead sitting at the top of the table for Ironheart Simsport is Jish, with like I said, a 10-point gap over Mountain Goat from BSR. Who has an 11-point lead back to Young Wacky for your young protege at Kraken Esports, sitting in third at the moment, doing rather well. He's in the middle of a BSR sandwich right now. You've got Foss sitting 5 points adrift in fourth, Tombo from Blacklight in fifth, my boy Lenosis from APR in sixth, Morgan Davey from Switchblade in seventh, got Nif from CP in eighth, my other boy Ricky Bobby from APR in ninth, got John from Lightning in 10th. Now, lucky for him, there's no rain here today, otherwise he might be in trouble. Sorry, mate, I had to slip that in. Can't help it. P11 is Evil Evo for Doghouse Motorsport. P12 for Thunder Motorsport is Artsy, the TO. 13 is GTR from Blacklight, and the final driver in Category 1A is Dale Teeks, your other driver. So the two Kraken guys are on track tonight. Hashtag no bias.
No, I'll try and keep the bias to a minimum.
Well, we've got both the Kraken drivers on track and both the APR drivers on track. Yeah, look, I'll try not to be biased as well. I will do my absolute best. Not making any promises, but I will do my best. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube chat, throw your predictions down as to who's going to be sitting on pole in tonight's qualifying, and what do you say we kick that off, Mr. Bumcrack?
I'll hit that big red button right now.
Perfect.
About 8 seconds warning for him. Get on track.
Now, I've been just quietly scoping out some of the drivers in the early session there. I've got my own little prediction as to who's going to put it on the front of the grid, but in the interest of fairness, I will keep that to myself, and I will keep it in my head. Got the drivers coming out of pit lane onto the track. Now it's going to be very messed up in terms of timing and grid order, so I'm just going to have to run through them as quick as I can. We've got GTR from Blacklight, beautiful tyre power sponsored car. John in the Lightning Motorsport, Merlin powered vehicle. I know Merlin powered garage doors, but they also seem to power Renault Megans. And there goes my racing order. That's all been messed up. So your boy Young Wakey's up front, Kraken, in the Komatsu powered car. Artsy, the Thunder Esports team owner, my boy Ricky Bobby. And he's got the two BSR guys who have found each other on track, and I would anticipate there would be some teamwork in regards to Slipstream possibly going on, judging by the touchy-touchy going on down the main straight. I would probably be correct, but it's consensual touching, so everything's fine. John from Lightning, as I said earlier. We've got Jeesh from Ironheart Simsport right behind him, the new team owner. Tombo from Blacklight right in his slipstream. That's not a bad place to be, Tombo, if you can hold on to it. Evil Evo from Doghouse with the lovely green highlights on the car. The slipstream of Tombo and Jeesh. Got GDR, a little bit off the back. My boy Lenosis, Dale Teagues, Morgan Davies, and Niff rounding out our top. So, after our first lap, Lenosis pips off Mountain Goat at the top of the table with a 55.953, if you don't mind a 55.9 first flyer. Thank you very much. Those bright pink wheels are doing him all of the favours in the world right now.
Good lap.
So at the moment, we've got Mountain Goat in the slipstream of his teammate Foss. He's currently in P5. Your boy Young Wacky, P3. He's not doing any of the slipstreaming, bump drafting business. He's in a lot of clear air, all by himself out front. Can he improve on his previous time? Cannot, unfortunately. Artsy also out on his own. He's been bumped down to 7th. Jeesh puts himself into P2. A 56.016. Boss has got himself up into P3. GDR's got himself in P4. He's towing along a couple of drivers in the process, but he is maybe catching a little bit of a draft from Tombo. He has fallen off the back of Jeesh. Mountain Goat P5. John's up into P7. It's looking fairly threatening there. And at the moment, from P1 to P7, there's less than 2/10 in it. And even going to Foster's in the pits for a fresh set of rubber. And even going down to P10, there's less than 2.5 tenths between 11th and the pole position lap right now. So this whole field, you could throw a beach towel over. Never mind a blanket, possibly a hand towel. Tombo and Dale Teagues in for fresh tyres as well. A little bit early, I would have thought, around the 4-minute mark, but you know, these are the cream of the crop in Sector 1, so far be it from me to tell them what to do. So Lenosis is working in the slipstream of Evil Evo right now. I think he wants to get on past, to be perfectly honest. I don't think he wants to sit there. Ooh, a little bit of touching. I think that's gone well. Let's let Tombo go through, or it could be GTR. It was GTR as all of those drivers come into the pits, and we have Mr. Jeesh putting himself up into pole position with a 55.895 non-slipstream assisted lap.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, cue the dry reaching into the bucket. Wow. That's just nuts. And
he's still purple.
And he's purple again. Right. Why do they put water over there at Ironheart?
I think they're imported from Mars, aren't they? Definitely aliens.
Go a little bit better on this lap. It's looking threatening.
Yes.
And he does. 55.893. So he beats his previous lap by 0.02 of a second.
That could be important. That could be important.
That could be very, very important because Lenosis is 600ths behind. Evil Evo is 1,000. Am I reading that right? No, I'm not.
No, he's
He's about a tenth behind Lenosis.
Yeah. 1.5 tenths.
And then 200s further behind is Foss. BSR boys still working together, it would seem. I think it seems to be working out better in Foss's favour. He's sitting P4 on the grid at the moment. Mountain Goat's only in P7. Foss is only 0.003 of a second in front of GTR. He's in P5. Morgan Davies got himself into P6. That's a fantastic effort. Switchblade. What can Foss come up with on this lap? Does improve. But Goaty goes to pole with a 55.853. Holy. And the thing is, wow.
17 thousandths.
Yep, that's what I was looking for. That's where my brain was going. I was trying to do math live on stream, and well, we all know it doesn't go well. Boss is
I
purple.
think Goaty's up another purple, yeah. So's Goaty.
Just like to do a quick little shout out to Morgan Davies' retro livery for this round. Very reminiscent of the early 2000s Renault Formula One cars with the yellow and blue. A little tip of the hat there to the Renault Formula One team. Sensational looking livery, not gonna lie.
It's a great colour combination.
Boss has managed to get himself into P2. GDR's in P3.
Ooh.
Geesh has been knocked off down to P4. Don't think he's going to be particularly happy about that because he's got the two BSR guys on track in front of him and he'll be able to see what's going on. It's almost a case of, hey boys, wait for me, give me some of that slipstream. Because it is very, very tight up the top there. Lenosis is a P5. Whoops, somebody's had a very nasty final turn. That was Niff. He's had a bit of a mare, he's decided to put it into the pits. It's at the 9-minute mark. Not sure that's going to work out particularly well, so I think he's just called it quits there. Decided to park the car up and call it done. At least for qualifying. So Goaty's currently down on his best time. He's sitting on pole position. He's got his teammate.
Boss has just run purple.
His teammate P2. Could he be helping his teammate knocking? Well, I don't think they're going to be particularly fast as to which one of them ends up on the top step on front of the front row of the grid. Well, they're both on the front row at the moment. And then they've got the call for the final lap. They've managed to sneak in one more. Geesh, unfortunately, has not crossed the line in time to get that extra lap, so P4 fourth is the best he will see. GDR's run low on time as well, so he's cemented P3. Boss is 2 tenths down, so it might only be Goaty who's got an opportunity to improve on his lap time. He's already sitting on pole, so.
Wacky coming in for his final hit. Just misses.
I think that is everybody run and done for qualifying. So we'll do a quick recap of our qualifying results. And then we'll kick off straight into race number 1. So it is a BSR front row lockout with Mountain Goat on pole position with a 55.764 and a hair's breadth between him and his teammate Fost with a 55.789. And Pete on the second row of the grid is GTR and Geesh in fourth. In third row of the grid is Young Wacky and Lenosis, so your boy and my boy. Yep, definitely going to be hard to keep the bias out of the commentary on that battle. Fourth row of the grid is Evil Evo. Good to see him up the top of the time sheets again as well. He's had a bit of a rough run the last couple of rounds. It's good to see him back up there again. Morgan Davies, historically not the strongest qualifier, but always puts in a good performance in the race. Has got himself into 8th position for the start of the race, so I think he will be fairly stoked with that. Fifth row of the grid is John and Artsy. On the 6th row of the grid is Ricky Bobby and Nif, and rounding out our grid tonight is Tombo and Dale Teeks. Now, I'm not sure if that's quite where Tombo would really want to be, but obviously, I'm guessing he's struggling just a little bit in qualifying tonight. Maybe not. The track surface is a little bit different to what he was anticipating or what he's used to, but I guess either way, enough of my rambling, because qualifying is one thing, but a race is another thing entirely. So, what do you say we get started?
I think we should, set the boys on their way.
Alright, people in the YouTube chat, throw in your top 3 predictions, no particular order. Just who do you think is going to finish in the top 3 tonight? And for the record, the person who I thought would qualify in pole position did not. So I was wrong.
Oh, Brocky's boys are going to be hard to beat tonight.
Especially if they put in teamwork like they did in qualifying. Lights are on.
A good team.
And the lights are out, the cars are underway. Good start from everybody. Everybody's going in a little bit of 2x2. I was going to say they're going into a single file fairly early, but they're fanning out very much for turn 1. GDR very aggressive there at turn 1. Gets down the inside. Oh, this is a dangerous area to be running side by side, gentlemen. Foss is doing a great job as rear gunner right there. He is the Minister of Defence for BSR right now. Oh, there's I think that's GDR off. No, that's not GDR off the track. I cannot. Oh, I think that was G-Shot off the track at turn 4. I think he's had might have just got shuffled out a little bit wide there on that one. We will come back to that replay in the very near future. We're just going to keep an eye on this pack going down the main straight right now. BSR still running 1 and 2. GDR well and firmly in the slipstream. Young Wacky up in 4th. Lenosis in 5th. GDR having to go very defensive there against Young Wacky. Morgan Davies moved up a couple of spots. He's into P6. Tell you what, the big mover and shaker right now is Tombo. He's up into P8. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Tombo start P12? P13?
I think he was actually, yeah. 13.
He's now up into 7th after 2 laps. As GDR's managed to, while I've been focusing lower on the order, Boss has managed to go into pole and Goaty into P3. I think Goaty might have just had a little bit of a slip up. And GDR is now applying the blowtorch to Foss. But at the same time, GDR's now found himself in a BSR sandwich. I'm not sure if that's the sandwich I'd want to be the meat in, but either way, Morgan Davies quietly into P4. Just Oh, young Wakey running. Oh, that's a big slapper. Oh, he's going to get absolutely swapped here.
That hurt.
There's not a lot of space on that track there to be able to get out of the way. I think he's done about as good of a job as you could possibly do.
Yeah, relatively.
You've got a massive pack of cars coming at you at a rapid rate of knots, and you are 60, 70 kilometers down on what the speed they're doing after a little bit of a tank slapper moment and a meeting with Mr. Barrier. The Gnosis is off track. Oh, nearly takes out his teammate on his rejoin. Not the greatest. So that's dropped him down to P9. He will be cursing. He's now side by side with John. And he's got Geesh for company as well. Geesh puts the nose in down the inside of turn 4. Oh, puts the Gnosis wide. He's managed to... Oh, he's hit... I got to get the camera off my teammate. He's having an absolute mare of a run right now. He's down to P14. That's not been a good run. But in the meantime, GTR has just quietly taken the lead of the race. Thank you very much. Got the good dog scream. I can hear him screaming all the way from Tasmania to put the camera on my bloody driver. But Morgan Davies is also just quietly overtaken Godey in the braking zone of turn 1 and moves himself up into P3. So there's big movers in this race one, both forwards and backwards. Morgan Davies, currently P3 from P8, I think he started in. Geesh has dropped down, unfortunately, from, did he start in P3 or P4 from memory? He is now down in, I'm not going to win a lot of fans for saying this, P10. Not gone well. No, he's in a very spicy battle pack right now. He's got Artsy and Niff going at it behind him. He's got John and Ricky Bobby in front of him. Your boy, Young Wacky, is P7. He's got Ricky Bobby right on his rear bumper, going very defensive into turn 1. There's a little bit of Morse code going on there, but nothing untoward.
It was P8 last lap, so...
And the other big mover I was talking about, Tombo, P5.
Yes.
From P13.
Second last on the grid. It was,
Yeah, second last, and he's now P5. He's not going to have it all his own way because he's got Young Wacky, Evil Evo, and Ricky Bobby bearing down on him at a rapid rate of knots. I guess the good news he has is, Ricky Bobby's had a massive slide into the final turn. That's cost him a few spots. So the top 4 have all closed back up. So there's less than a second between Godey in 4th and GDR in 1st. So there's 4 cars within half a second of each other. 3/4 of a second. You get the point. It's bloody close. GDR currently in the lead, and we'll put an asterisk next to that because we all know how quickly all this can change. You only need to put one tyre wrong, one little bit of rubber off the track, and you're going to have a bad time. Godey's looking, Morgan Davies looking very aggressive on Foss down the inside of the final turn. Meanwhile, Godey's looking down the inside of Morgan on the final turn. Switchblade versus BSR, it's a 1 versus 2 battle, and Morgan is giving no stuffs about being outnumbered. He's going to stick the nose in down the inside of turn 1. Yeah, I think Foss just backed out of that and said, alright, you know what, you've earned it, you can have it for now. Now Morgan takes off in hot pursuit of GDR, who is less than a second, so it's not a massive gap, easily made up in the 13 minutes we have yet remaining in this race. Well, hang on, has all of that just kicked off in 7 minutes? Right.
Yes.
Wow. That's they're going off early here in Cat 1, eh?
That is Sprint.
We've got a big fan in the YouTube chat. Lime Cordials screaming, "You've got it, Dad." I'm not quite sure. Oh wait, that's Artsy's son. So we've got the team owner from Thunder Esports. He's got his son cheering him on. Good on you, Lime Cordial. Good to have you here. Thanks for watching. Best of luck to your dad. Now, while it is a little bit quiet, I am going to see if I can get back to that replay that I captured a little bit earlier from Geesh, who is currently in hot pursuit of Evil Evo and Tombo. He's in P8 at the moment. See if I can give us a look at the replay of how exactly he found himself a little bit further down the grid than he had anticipated. Is it going to work? Oh, there's a little bit of... No, I've got it just that little bit too late. Oh well, that's all right. It's okay. Ooh, there's a little bit of lag going on. I thought he was... Oh, there is a... Oh no, that is a lot of lag going on as... Oh, that is a massive moment. Geesh is gone. The banker was gone. No, it was Evil Evo. That was something I'm going to have to see if I can get a look at on the replay, and hopefully we don't miss too much else, because this race is going off like multiple frogs in a sock. Alright, so, no, I've managed to, again, just get the back end of it, unfortunately.
My guy had a 3-second penalty.
Oh, so I think Geesh and Evil Evo had a little bit of a coming together at that horrible turn 4, and things have all just gone pear-shaped. Both guys. I'm not sure if that was anything other than a racing incident, but again, things are maybe not going all that according to plan for Ironheart this evening. Just checking it back up the front, nothing untoward happening here. We've got GTR still in the lead, but Morgan Davies is less than 2/10 behind. GTR running very defensive down the front straight, not giving Morgan a single inch to go down the inside. Morgan says, bugger this, I'm going to go around the outside. Nearly puts it into the gravel trap. Leaves the door open for Foss. 2 BSR guys in the tow of the Switchblade Renault, looking for any opportunity to make it on past. You can almost guarantee that BSR team radio is going hot right now. Or it might be the complete opposite. They might just be chilling, cracking jokes, having a laugh. Who knows? They're an odd bunch over there at BSR. Odd in a good way. We love them, but still odd. GDR's maintaining his defensive line. Oh, hard on the brakes, nearly into the back of the blacklight car. He's keeping the pressure on. So it's fairly steady up there. How are the drivers looking for tyres there, Bumcrack? Is there anyone who's going to be in a lot of trouble in 5 minutes' time, or...?
Nah, just about everybody on the track has got about the same sort of fuel, and they're all running at about 25% warm, maybe 20% warmed. So yeah, another 7 or 8 laps to go. They'll last it out pretty well. You may see some sort of decline in final lap speeds at the end there, but these guys generally get faster almost all up again.
absolutely insane the way they can maintain their pace even on worn tyres.
Yes.
I mean, the fuel load dropping, the weight going out of the car does help. And I have just noticed that I still had the replay screen up. My apologies, everybody. Yes,
Your two
Rocky.
teammates are giving John a bit of a resin up at the down the back there.
Ferrari P8 for... Oh, John, he's had a massive moment right there.
Potato's curse. Sorry.
Potato's curse has... well, I mean, it's horrible to see someone have a crash. I mean, the only thing is I can say is at least it wasn't my teammate. Touch wood. God help me. Now I've definitely just cursed both the APR drivers, but we should...
Ooh. It's about time we saw the real GTR coming out this season. He's had some very unlucky races.
I've just realised my microphone was muted, so I'm having a great run. Replay screen still on, and microphone still muted for a period of time. Alright, anyway, moving on from that. Mountain Goat has definitely got his handful here with Morgan Davies having a look at turn 1. Nothing happening. This is just letting GDR, there's a big free kick for Blacklight. It's like GDR's just skipping off into the distance at the moment. And I have just noticed, I have a bit of a timing screen error. I don't actually have a fastest lap on screen.
Oh, so far I've got on my screen 55.876 by Morgan Davies.
Right. Let me see if I...
GT7 doing GT7 things will make that mostly correct.
No, I've tried doing a jump out, jump in kind of scenario, and unfortunately, well, it is what it is. So GDR's managed to skip out to a 2.5 second lead. We've got Mountain Goat and Foss running line astern again in P2, P3. Morgan Davies P4, refusing to give it up. Young Wacky's just quietly slipped back into contention here. He's in P5, not that far off the back. He's only, well, he's less than a second behind Morgan Davies.
Yeah, he's pulling time off quite rapidly, actually.
He's doing a bloody great job.
He was. Sorry. Get off. Morgan's having another crack. Done it. Morgan's gotten past Foss.
Young Wacky's looking up the inside of Morgan. Didn't quite get the exit he wanted onto the main straight.
Very interesting 2 laps here.
So Morgan's still looking for the inside line against Foss here. Will get it done under brakes. Young Wacky wants to join the party as well. No room for him to get past there, unfortunately. Morgan, starting P8, has got himself into P3 onto the podium. Another good mover is both Niff and Tombo in P6 and P7 respectively at the moment. Both started from a lot lower in the grid. Tombo was P13, I think Niff was P10, P11. Just saw briefly there in P7 and P8 there is a hot little battle pack here with Geesh in P8, the 2 APR guys of Lenosis and Ricky Bobby in P9 and 10, and then you've got Thunder Artsy in P11 who's had a pretty quiet race. He's got his young fellow Lime Cordial in the chat scream and support, so we'll give him a bit of TV time as he wants to throw it down the inside of Ricky Bobby at turn 1. No luck for him on that occasion, unfortunately. Geesh is on his little bit of a comeback drive. Just trying to get back up as far up the grid as he can. Evil Evo's had a bit of a mare after that earlier spin. Down into P12. Dale Teagues, P13. Ooh, John's all the way back. Ooh, hello.
Yes, John's had a bad time.
Not gone well. He's having a. Oh, there we've had some finishes. Sorry, I've lost complete track of the time. Distinct Geesh has finished in P8. Ricky Bobby just pipping his teammate Lenosis for P9. Lenosis P10. Artsy finishing P11, Evil Evo P12, Dale Tiggs 13, John in 14th, and GTR, so on his final lap, lap 22, has absolutely buggered off into the distance. He's got a 2-second lap over Mountain Goat, who is 1 and a bit seconds in front of
Oh, wait, he's going to do it. He's going to come in here and get another position.
As we see in the background, we see young Wakey might just get P3 as GDR comes across the line. Mountain Goat takes out P2. Young Wakey just pips Morgan Davies into P3, P4 for Morgan. Foss takes P5. Niff with a great finish into P6. And our final finisher, Tombo, in P7. That was a very, very eventful race 1. I knew it was going to be eventful. I knew there was going to be action. But I totally did not predict any of that. Wow, that was crazy. So anyone in the chat who threw in your top 3 prediction, I can almost guarantee you guys were wrong. Alright, as we shall do a quick recap of our race 1 results. We have, for the race win, Blacklight Motorsports, a GTR, P2, BSR's Mountain Goat, P3's Kraken Esports, a Young Wacky, P4, Switchblades Morgan Davies, who also takes out the fastest lap of a 55.876. A 55.876 race lap. Jeez. Bloody wow. Yeah, anyway, P5, BSR's Foss, P6, CP's Niff, P7, Blacklight's Tombo, managing to get his way back into the top 8 and at least get a consolation point after a bit of a horror show earlier in the race is Ironheart's Geesh. And then we've got P9 APR's Ricky Bobby, P10 APR's Lenosis, P11 Thunder Esports Artsy, P12 Doghouse's Evil Evo, P13 Kraken's Dale Teagues, and P14 is Lightning Motorsports John. Wow. So, what we shall do is we shall cut to a very brief intermission while we get the timing reset and get the drivers ready to go on our grid and get them set up for the next race, which as we know is a reverse of this current layout. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for you guys to take a toilet break, grab some snacks, grab some drinks, get a refill, do what you got to do, get up and have a stretch, and we shall be back very shortly. Don't go too far. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have the grid set ready for race 2 tonight. Now, just having a quick look over the season points, and I gotta tell you, the results of that race have already had a fairly serious effect on the points standings. So even though it's just the bonus points for race 1, the results of race 2, based on the grid order for this race, well, I'd like to say if everyone finished in the positions they start in, there would be some major changes in the order of this championship. But like that race just showed us, I don't think anyone's going to finish in the position that they start in. That's just my prediction for this race. Whether it be better or worse than the position they start in remains to be seen. But what do you say, Mr. Bumcrack? How about we kick it off and show everybody at home what is about to happen?
That big red button has been pushed.
Beautiful. Let's get it done, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, just throw a race win. Who's your race winner prediction into the chat? I would be keen to see. Ooh, the weather's a little bit how you going here.
Misty?
Yeah, a little bit of alpine mist has come in. Rolling off the hills. As we have lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the lights are green and everybody is underway. Nice and smooth, a little bit of 2x2. It is looking pretty hazy out there. The clouds have rolled in. Oh, that's getting a bit spicy into turn 1.
Yes.
GDR's aggressively defensive over Young Wacky into turn 1. Everybody keeps it on track. Morgan Davies resumes his position as the meat in the BSR sandwich. Young Wacky's had a... Oh, I swear I saw a black light car sideways there. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of cars sideways. There is
The dirt being kicked up.
Nobody died. I'm stunned and impressed. Oh, a little bit of touching there from Tombo into the back of a BSR car. Braking zone for the final corner. I think Niff had a bit of a moment as well. He's managed to pick himself back up. Or I swear I nearly saw the 2 APR guys clean each other up into the pit lane wall.
I actually thought Lanosis clipped that wall.
They're 3 wide into the braking zone for turn 1. I'm about to have a heart attack here. This is intense, especially when you're watching your teammates. I've got to get off. Got to get off this. Let's go up the front where the action is just as spicy, but they're not my teammates. Right. Mountain Goat is... Hang on, where's GDR? What has happened? Where is GTR?
He's back down in 10th.
I've bloody done it again. What has happened with... Oh, hang on. That was a black light car I saw sideways on lap 1. That may have been GDR. I thought it was Tombo. Okay, so somewhere in amongst that, we've got GDR from P1 down to P10. That has not gone well. That's not the kind of big moves you want. And Morgan Davies is currently into the race lead. Mountain Goat's managed to get past Young Wacky as well, but he's sitting pretty in P3. He's now the meat in that BSR sandwich. Foss in P4. Oh, there goes Foss. Yep, he's had a major steering issue. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. I'm hearing a lot of tyres squealing into the final turn. Drivers really struggling to get the power down. That's been a big beneficiary for, well, big benefit for Tombo, who's found himself up into P4. He's got Niff for company who wants to send it down the inside here at turn 1. Tombo manages to hold him out. We've got Mountain Goat looking to make a move, backs out of it through the twisty section. He's got young Wakey, a little bit of Morse code on the back bumper. Oh, they're trying to go 2 into 1. There's not a lot of space there, boys.
Oh.
They keep it clean. Cody being defensive on young Wacky while still trying to be aggressive on Morgan Davies. Oh, Nif giving Tombo a bit of a hurry up there coming out of the final turn. Got a great run. Lenosis in P6. Just hanging on the back of Tombo at the moment. Because he's got a very, very angry looking Geesh coming out in hot, P7. Ricky Bobby P8. Well, was P8. Just got kicked down to P9 with John moving up into P8. He started, what, P14?
Yes, he was off the back of the grid.
So he's made up 6 positions already in less than 5 laps. Well done, son. Looking to offset the horrors that was race 1. GDR's still in P10. Artsy P11. Dale Teague's P12. Boss after his earlier spin, P13. And has Evil Evo for company in P14. Evil Evo showing a 1 minute 5 for lap 3, so clearly did not have a good time on lap 5. What am I saying? Lap 5, lap 3. We're on lap 5 now.
Wacky's just taken the lead.
My brain is not braining. Right, young Wakey going side by side with Morgan Davies through that middle chicane section.
Not through there, not through there.
Oh, how's your heart rate? Oh, there's a bit of war. Oh, Mountain Goat's capitalised. Oh, this is about to go off. This is about to become a 5-car accident. 5, 6?
Jeez.
I can't even count.
They all held it together. That's...
Right, so this top 7 has just become one giant battle pack. It was 2 split groups, but got everyone from Godey in the lead. Nif is up into P2. This guy is having an absolute sensational race. He's in the lead.
And into the lead.
God damn! I can almost hear Chase screaming at the TV from here.
A lot of shuffling going on.
Well, there's a lot of touching, but Wacky's still in P3. Tombo into P4. Geesh just quietly P5. Watch this space. He is angry. And
who's gone?
That's Lenosis with the pink wheels, has had an absolute horror moment at the reverse turn 4. I will keep that on a replay for later. But I do have a fastest lap as well at the moment, which is Geesh with a 55.924. He's in P5 and looking very, very angry right now. But he's got a very feisty looking pack around him. He's looking to make a move on Tombo into turn 1. Chucks it down the inside, nearly finds the back of young Wacky's car.
Jeez.
This is seriously tight. There's racing room being given, but probably a car's width plus a centimetre and not a millimetre more. I don't know where to look here. It's all just
kicking off.
I mean, Nif right now, he'd be cheering. He's in the lead. It's got Mount Goat right up the back of him, who has young Wacky as a bumper sticker. Morgan Davies has dropped off a little bit. He's less than a second behind Wacky and less than a second in front of Geesh, who's found himself into P5 after getting past Tombo. Tombo's now got Ricky Bobby in a drag race. Has to relinquish the P6 position. Shake and bake. Making moves. John wants to... Oh, John puts the squeeze on Tombo through turn 1 as well. Tombo wants to have a conversation about this. He's not going to be happy about letting all this position go. Especially not to John. There's a lot of banter in the pit lane between these two. Tombo picks up a little bit of dirt there. Could give John an opportunity into the braking zone. Very tricky for the final corner. He's really got a hug left, and John sends it down the inside anyway. Makes it stick too. Holy shit! What a
Great move.
What an overtime. Oh, it's 6 minutes before 9 o'clock. I'm allowed to drop an S-bomb. Wow, that was brilliant. So, I might just quickly see if I can get onto that replay of my boy Lenosis having a bit of a whoopsie-doozy moment. See if I can catch what went wrong. So coming through that middle sector, up the hill. Oh, he's just run wide, touched the grass, and had a pretty decent 360, to be honest. He's picked up a bit of damage, but he has managed to continue on facing in the right direction. So that wasn't great, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Not gonna lie. Alright, so Niff and Goat. Still P1, P2. Still got Morgan. Oh, sorry, still got Wacky, and now Geesh is in the party as well, with Morgan. Chucks it down the inside, but Morgan wants to, he's not going to make it easy for Geesh here. He's going to hold his position, run side by side. Geesh says, nah, bugger that, not running side by side through this sector. We all know how that ends, and it's not well. Oh, young Wacky's in front of you wide. That nearly ended badly. I think both Morgan and Geesh were very nice there to give him the space. Wacky's tried to go defensive down the main straight, but Morgan's just managed to put the nose in there. I do feel like he's going to... Yeah, he does. Oh. Young Wacky's got the muffin line into turn 1 here, using the pit exit.
No, not again.
Oh boy. Close your eyes if you don't want to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Morgan is certainly not making this easy for anyone. Geesh has just dropped off a little bit there. I think he's taken the safe line through that sweeping right-hander. You know what? I'm going to give that corner a name. I'm not going to call it the sweeping right-hander. I'm going to call it brass ones. Because you need him to go through there at a rapid rate of knots.
You certainly do.
We can also call it instant death, but I'm not thinking that's particularly family friendly. Then again, brass ones isn't exactly family friendly either. So I mean, Lime Cordial in the chat is absolutely going off in support of his dad. So let's have a little bit of TV time for him, just quietly. John, P6. He's got
Nice.
Ricky Bobby, P7. Combo's hanging on to the top 8. There you go. There's Lime Cordial's dad, Artsy. Currently in P9. He's got my boy Lenosis in P10, hot on his heels. Gets a little bit gappy back to Foss, who had that earlier horror, so he's not going to be particularly happy. That's going to be championship changing stuff in terms of points. As Lenosis makes his way past Artsy, picks up P9. Hello, Morgan Davies is into the lead. Here we go. He's gotten past both Niff and Mountain Goat. He is not here to muck about. I reckon his team owner, Karen, is, well, he's not screaming in the YouTube chat, so he's probably hunched over in front of the TV, biting his nails. Probably nursing a strong craft beer of some description, being absolutely nervous about this. You know, we're 13 minutes in, we haven't mentioned the tyres, and you know what? I don't think we're going to bother.
I don't think it's necessary, really. They're all Very, very similar.
So there we go, that's our tyre and fuel update brought to you by APR Motorsport, or APR Automotive. You're in safe hands, thank you very much. Oh, this is just going off 2x2 into turn 1 with Goaty, Wacky, Nif, Geesh. Geesh manages to make a move up into P4. There's still six and a bit minutes to go. There's so much kicked off in the first 7 minutes. We've got room for just as much to go. This top 5, don't bet on them finishing in the order that they're currently in. Then you've got the battle in P6 and P7, with John and Ricky Bobby basically being a ship and a barnacle right now. Ironic that I use the term ship to describe John at the moment because, well, ship doesn't have wet tyres either. Alright, I'll let it go now. I'm done. I've fulfilled my quota of jokes. I'm done. Love you, John. Tombo's hanging on to P8, but he's got a rapidly closing Lenosis bringing RC with him. So he could have some very close company in the near future. As we're back to the top, Morgan Davies still in the lead, only a couple of tenths in it. He's going to be working his ass off to stay in front. Because I'm pretty sure Mountain Goat wants the points for the win just as badly as he does, if not more. And can confirm Young Wacky would also quite happily take the top step on the podium as well.
Yeah.
At the moment, Geesh is doing an absolutely brilliant job of damage minimization right now. He's got had a 10-point lead in the championship. Lost out on the bonus points in the first race, but is absolutely hauling ass here. Currently in P4, but he wants to make it P3 in the next lap or so. Got Mountain Goat playing Morse code on the back of Morgan Davies. Backs off for brass ones. Oh, does a cheeky little switchback. He's also got Young Wacky there he's got to play defensive with. Oh, Morgan gets a little sideways. Got the tired inside line, manages to hold it onto the front straight. Will that compromise his exit? I think it has. I think Young Wacky's just playing a little bit of bump drafting there with Morgan. I think Wacky's, yep, he's got into P2. He's just throwing his support behind whoever can get him a better position. I don't think he's fast. Whether it's Morgan or Goaty. "16 and a half minutes down. Still got 3.5 minutes, there's still 4 laps to go. Morgan Davies still in the lead. Young Wacky 2 tenths behind. Less than a tenth behind is Goat. Patiently waiting in the wings in P4 is Geesh. Only needs one of these drivers to put a foot wrong, and he will be there. Ricky Bobby has managed to get the best of John. He's currently in P5. Good old shake and bake. Lenosis is up into P7. He's managed to make his way past Tombo. Tombo's still kicking around in P8, but he's now got Artsy hot on his heels. Boss P10. GDR still circulating P11. Hello, I see Nif in the pits. Evil Evo P12, and Nif is into the pits, possibly with mechanical error.
His tyres are just wow. What? He has no tyre on the front left.
He seems to be parked up in the pit lane. I think there might be some kind of mechanical problem with the CP car there.
That tyre looks pretty good 1 lap ago.
Morgan Davies still out the lead. Young Wacky. Oh, hello. In amongst all of that, Young Wacky has now got a lead of, well, not the lead of the race, but he wants that, and the way he's going hammer and tong on Morgan, and we've just witnessed Goatee go back down the inside of Geesh. He's holding his line, coming out of the exit of turn 1. Geesh had, for a moment, made his way into P3. Goatee takes it back. They have dropped 1.2 seconds back off the back of Young Wakey and Morgan, so I think there might have been some fighting going on that's cost them this time. Got less than a minute and a half to go. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of tyre squeal. Morgan's getting very, very loose into the braking zone for that final corner. He's just making that car dance all over the place. Young Wacky's got a beautiful slipstream. Yes, he's got a very similar line to Muffin, going out into the pit lane exit under brakes. Geesh and Goatee still going at it. Side by side through the, I don't even know what to call this. The hilly sweepers.
Wall of chumps?
Yeah, the reverse wall of chumps. Into brass ones. Ricky Bobby still P5. John has managed to catch up just that little bit on him. He's managed to close that gap back. But that gap between Young Wakey and Mountain Goat is now at 2 seconds, so Morgan and Wacky are basically just driving off. And that is our 20-minute timer. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, no. Goatee and Geesh go around again. Ricky Bobby, our first of our finishers, P5. John, P6. Lenosis in P7. Foss, P8. GDR in P9 after the horror start. Beating his teammate, Tombo, P10. Evil Evo, P11. Artsy finishing in P12. Dale Teagues finishing... Oh, hang on. Morgan Davies and Young Wakey are just... Oh, that's... No! Oh, no. Wacky has come out of brass ones sideways and has put it into the inside wall. That has ended in disaster for the young Kraken driver. As Morgan Davies coming down the main straight, little bit of weaving, take the win for Switchblade. In race 2 of the Sprint Series, Mountain Goat taking P3, just pipping out Geesh in... Sorry, Mountain Goat in P2, just pipping Geesh in P3. And the final finisher, Young Wacky in P4 after, yeah, what can only be described as heartbreak on that final lap.
He was in the lead.
And you can hear his team owner's pain. We do our best to stay unbiased here in the comms box, but yeah, look, can't really blame him. That's not pleasant to have witnessed. So I think we can give the plumber a bit of slack on that one.
Still an excellent result, though. Really, put it in perspective.
I mean, yeah,
that was a tough race.
It's certainly not horrible. It's not optimal, but not horrible. Alright, so we shall do a quick recap of our race 2 results. For the win is Morgan Davies from Switchblade Sim Sports in that beautiful retro Renault liveried car. P2, Mountain Goat for BSR. P3 for Ironheart Sim Sports is Geesh, who also takes out the fastest lap of a 55.924. So the only driver to dip into the 55s on the reverse layout, so showing that he's just as quick no matter the direction of the track. P4 with that unfortunate final lap incident is Young Wacky for Kraken Esports. P5 is a Ricky Bobby from APR, a sensational result for him. He will be most happy with that, I would imagine. P6, John from Lightning Motorsport, a much better result for him than in race 1. So he started P14, didn't he?
Yes.
So he's gone up 8 places in that race.
That's correct.
Not bad at all. P7 is Lenosis from APR after his a little bit of a recovery drive there after a bit of a spin mid-race. So he's done well to get back from the P10, I think he was in at one point. P8 for Foss from BSR, also having a bit of a recovery drive after a mid-race or an early spin. Speaking of earlier incidents, which we didn't quite catch, is GTR for Blacklight, P9. Tombo also for Blacklight, P10. Evil Evo from Doghouse, P11. RC from Thunder Esports, P12. Dale Teaks, Kraken Esports, P13. And what can only be described as a late retirement due to mechanical issues for CP Motorsports is NIF. And that, everybody, is our round 5 of the Sector 1 Season 10, the sprint round at Sardegna Sea. Run and done. Alright, so YouTube chat, Driver of the Day nominations, please and thank you. Mr. Plummer, what do you think?
Look, I'd be quite happy to give it to probably Morgan Davey. I mean, he just gave it to everybody in there, and everyone gave it back to him, and just had a perfect race, really.
Look, it's kind of hard to put it. It's my bias against wanting to against giving it to the winner.
Yeah, I know. Geesh, if I would be my next pick.
Well, I'm going to just throw a complete curveball into the Driver of the Day nominations. I'm going to give mine to John. P14 to P6 in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In category 1A, like that's no small achievement. That is.
Look at the guys behind him, like wow.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of talent up and down this field, and yeah, he's managed to get past 8 of them. So, John's my Driver of the Day nomination.
Good pick.
So, Driver of the Days from the YouTube chat, not a lot in there. Bit of a tied one nomination from Robert Rice for Goat and Geesh. Captain Martin's Driver of the Days, Geesh, hashtag no bias, of course not. Driver of the Day, Geesh from Graham. Yeah, it's looking like Geesh just might be the Driver of the Day tonight.
Well deserved.
Well deserved indeed. Rightio, so we will be back, I do believe, next week for round 6. And back to the conventional style of racing, not the endurance, not the sprint, just our hashtag normal. Qualifying with about a 45-minute give or take race next week.
I think
if you could
about that.
Please refresh my memory. I do believe we are racing at Alsace? I can't pronounce it.
Alsace? I'm not sure how to pronounce it either. That's
Alsace. You guys can say it however you want. I'll just spell it. That's easier.
Alsace.
But yes, we will be back next week, same time, same place at 6:30 p.m. on the YouTubes. I'd just like to say thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in this evening, and I'd like to say also a big thank you to yourself, Mr. Bumcrack, for being race director tonight. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
It's been a joy to have both yourself and Grovel in the comms box tonight. Always a good time, and to fill the gaps when my brain cannot do the brain thing.
They all fail. Now it was a good night tonight.
So yes, Grovel, it is round 6. That is next week. So hope to see you all back here tuning in. I won't be tuning in myself, as both, both yourself and I and Grovel will be out on track. But I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy the pleasure of the company of the other members of our comms team, who I cannot remember who's scheduled for next week. But you know what? At this point, I'm just rambling, so I'm going to bid you all a good night. Thank you again for joining us, and you have been watching Sector 1 Sim Racing.
Good night.